So, being a little, what I'd call maybe, not sure of my topic today. I've landed on this idea of a crack, a tiny little crack. Like if everything like a pebble hits your windshield and you hear the like, and it hit in a way you're like, oh no, that wasn't just a little pebble. That's gonna be a crack, and it starts as a tiny little thing, and then just little by little, it grows. It either grows out or it grows this way and that's kind of what happens when you start something a little bit. Like when you just start something with just a little bit, like a little bit of an opening or a little bit of a crack, that's when things start to change. That's when life really starts to open. And I think what's really miraculous about that is that until I let that little crack of light, of realization, of reason, or even of emotion in, I don't realize how closed I really was, how self-sufficient, how powerless, how not really getting to where I want to go. Like you see, because this is the thing, all this stuff that I talk about is like, I just see all these stuck people, stuck in a bad job, stuck in their thinking, stuck in a body that they don't love on, stuck in a relationship that really doesn't fulfill them emotionally or spiritually. And I'm constantly asking myself, what's that about? Like, what is that about, and how can I make a difference? Because I know I can make a difference, because I know that I have had all those problems, being stuck in a job, being stuck in a relationship, being stuck in my body and not treating it well, and then feeling imprisoned and in bondage and finding myself like polluting it even more. And it's really fundamental to me, because I think people think like, I need a whole overhaul. I'm going to have to change everything about my life if I want to lose 5 pounds or get out of this shitty dead end job. And I don't know, maybe that's true and maybe it's not. Maybe the truth is you just need a little crack. Not the drugs, not the drugs. No, you don't just need a little crack. That'll give you the perfect nirvana you want, but it won't be good in the end, um, according to most crack users. The word on the street is, of course. But what is that little crack? That little crack is a beginning, and that little crack is an opening, and that little crack is a bit of an answer, a bit of a light, a bit of divine intervention. It's whatever you want to think it is, but in a sense, what it is it's the start of a solution. Because you see, my mind has all these fixed ideas. My mind has this set interpretation of who I think I am and what life is all about. And I can get really stuck in that, and thinking that's the alpha, the omega of everything there ever was. And I'm not able to see the forest through the trees. Like, I pride myself on being self-sufficient, and I don't see that as sometimes like self-sabotaging in its like fierce independence. Um, I pride myself on getting things done, and sometimes that's me neglecting to ask for help because I am looking at other people as not as capable as I am. There are all these little idiosyncratic and like underlying motive pieces of awareness that just help me see both where I am based on what I'm thinking and that's producing in my life, and then where I want to go. And here's the deal. If I want to go somewhere different than where I've been, I have to start changing the way I think about who I am. Because it's my thinking that creates my being, not the other way around. And I have to learn how to be. Or if I'm going to learn how to be different, I have to also learn how to think differently. Now, we could probably argue which comes first, and it's very chicken and eggish. Do you think and then you be, and then you do, or you do and then you be, and then you think? I would argue that most people do, and then think, and then be. Whereas what I'm looking for to both create in myself and other people is to learn how to be, and then create from there. And you can create your life, you can create a new way to think, you can create a different set of circumstances, you can create a new relationship. I mean, there's scientific basis for how these things work, and yet most smart people are like, well, that's not logical, or it doesn't make sense. It makes sense. And the more that you pay attention to what's happening in the world, you'll actually see how much it really makes sense to actually learn about how your mind works and what it projects into your life. And if you're not learning about that, I invite you to start. Anyway, on that note, starting, if you want to start something different, if you want to do something different, if you're overworked and overachieving and overproving who you are and what you want because you're doing, and you have it all backwards, and you realize that you have it backwards because you're not happy. I mean, it's a fundamental result. If you're not happy, something's not working. If you're interested in changing that and you're a professional woman of the Gen X, Gen Y generations, I am doing a webinar, and I'll be having more information, putting out more information starting Friday for a sale for a masterclass the first week of December. So look out for that. I hope you'll be able to join me. And that's about all I've got to say today on the crack. So just remember, all you need is just a little crack to get things started in the right direction. Maybe my workshop, my masterclass is a little crack for you. I hope so. Have a great day, and thanks for joining me.